these were two very, very different games. Just the difference between the third place game and the final was something to behold. And yeah, I guess we can just speed right through it. So the third place match. I assume FIFA was getting a bunch of smack for it. Still existing, a relic of when they were trying to compete with the Olympics or something. And so they decide to threaten the teams with you have to play a very offensive formation or else I don't know, you just get banned from qualifying next time or something. And they definitely lived up to the billing. England scores 4 goals in the first half. You're like, oh well. I mean, they definitely have their second string in, but I thought France's first string would do better. But then, after making some subs, they get 1 goal, 2 goal, 3 goal. Oh no, that's not great. Is England really gonna blow it? This would have been so England to blow a 4-0 lead in the third place game to get relegated to fourth for the second time in 3 World Cups. That would have probably brought some pain, but fortunately, Bukayo Saka they get a pretty silly penalty, and there's Bukayo Saka smashes it in for his hat trick. They made it a little more interesting with the Usman Dembele 96th minute, but it was then just put to bed by Jude Bellingham on like the next play. So yeah, 6-4. Um, yeah, it was. It, I mean, just look at the first half. It just looks funny, and then that second half, it's like, oh wow, France can actually do something. But in the end, it's a dead even somehow. I don't really know how it was a dead even, but it certainly was. Um, just sorry, it was the last game. Just very, very entertaining match to watch. I didn't actually watch it. I watched the highlights of it though, and it was just a lot of bad defense and then some brilliant offensive plays. England, I can't believe I'm saying this. England should have probably scored like 2 more goals in that first half. They should have probably had like 9 goals in this game. France probably should have had like 5 or 6 because after the third goal, they just kept bricking chances. And yeah, this game had the potential to be like the absolute record setter for goals because Hungary has that beat. They have like a 10-1 victory at some point in the past, but no, they didn't score enough to actually break records. But they certainly have broken modern records. In the modern world of soccer, football, it's it's a lot of playing cautious, playing very defensive in games that matter. The thing about this game is that it really didn't matter for either team. Both teams said it just didn't really fucking matter. And yeah, and that the defense clearly didn't show up, and yeah, it felt like an all-star game. It felt like one of those all-star games where the players kind of just don't give a shit defensively, but really want to do some spectacular offense stuff, for the fans, of course. And just, just I don't know. England gets their first ever third place. The only other, top finishes, top four was number one and number four. So this is their first ever third place. They now tie the United States in that. I'm very sad. As for France, they have fallen backwards for the last two different World Cups. First, second, then second to fourth. Which isn't great, but it's not much of a surprise. And yeah, I think most people thought France would have shown up more, and I certainly thought France would win after I saw England starting in lineup. I'm like, okay, they are definitely taking it without. 'Cause they didn't have Jude Bellingham or Harry Kane. It's like I am very, very surprised that this starting 11 was able to beat this starting 11. I just thought that England would do not as much, even with their first team, not as much against this team. But I think maybe the problem was that the midfield and the defense just wasn't up to par, and England kind of just bossed it. Um, yeah, they claim third place. But Mbappe claims the ultimate prize because we know for a fact that the World Cup final would be way more tense. There would be basically no goals in it. Mbappe with his two goals becomes one of the few to have ever won multiple golden boots in World Cups. He's won it 2 years in a row. Got it in 2022, and also now in 2026. Yeah, just some good assists. Elise is pretty good, apparently. Um, yeah. Honestly, the whoever wins the Ballon d'Or, Ballon d'Or, whoever wins that probably should come from this game because this was way more of an exciting performance. Maybe not soccer though. I don't know what the hell that is, but certainly it certainly felt like someone from this game deserved it more than any of this. But we move on to the final. Obviously, the the teams somewhat. It wasn't kicking up as much of a storm as I thought. Between the two, obviously, I build it as colonizers versus colonizers. I would have said that for the United States, by the way. So it's not. It was not expected. It wasn't unexpected when you see this final result of 1-0 after extra time. But the way that it happened was exactly what Spain has needed, what Spain is expecting to do for themselves to win the World Cup. And now, okay, let's go to results. To be honest, I after the Cape Verde, after the Cape Verde draw, it's like, oh god, is Spain really just that bad? Like what? What on earth? And then they beat the shit out of Saudi Arabia, but Saudi Arabia loses every thing for whatever one reason or another. Well, then they beat Uruguay, but like Uruguay was experiencing the most amount of head loss that you can imagine, and also got a red card, but I think that was late anyways. Spain gets one goal. And then going up against European opponents, they would kill it. They would kill Austria. Game end Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal. I don't really know if it's actually his Portugal, but whatever. Beat Belgium. They do give up their first goal, which you can thank the United States for motivating Belgium more than Belgium could ever do to themselves. Beat the shit out of France. Belgium put up a better fight than France. And then, in my eyes, they wall up Argentina. Now you might say that's weird, but they won 1-0 in extra time. But if you watch this game, it was by far a very one-sided affair. Argentina did not get a shot until the second half. of extra time. It doesn't really have it broken down into extra halves, but I'm 95% sure that both of those shots were in the second half. Neither of them on target. And while Spain, the first half was kind of just dull. There wasn't really too many shots. The second half, Spain, I don't know what the hell you were doing. You just couldn't score. But then in extra time, they get a disallowed goal, and then they finally score an actual goal. Argentina was playing what most would call anti-football, anti-soccer. Just going in for a million challenges, and while the where the fuck are the foul numbers? Did they? Yeah, here it is. While the foul numbers are relatively even, the foul difference between a Spain and an Argentina was a lot more. I do believe that Spain got lucky with 0 yellows in the time of 21 fouls. I don't know if that's a record, but should probably be. Um, just like what on like how was that not a yellow? But these challenges were terrible. Just not. They were not the challenges that you need to go for. And I think it's funny how it says misses next match. He's not gonna miss next match. Oh wait. Just some not so great. Just not. There was not a good reason for some of those fouls for Argentina to go for. They get an early injury that kind of fucks with their red card or whatever, their cards or whatever. Paredes only getting a yellow somehow. He should have probably been sent off multiple times in this game. He was basically just throwing himself in every sort of challenge, looking very, very questionable. And yeah, but he is not the one to get sent off after getting a yellow card for being like whatever that is, being a bitch. Let's just call that. After that, Enzo Fernandez just goes in for a challenge that he just didn't need to. It pops the Spanish defender up, and the ref has no choice but to give him a second yellow. And that you don't need to go in for that. You basically kneecap your team into extra time, where even after a disallowed goal on the 95th, which shouldn't have been disallowed, that was not a foul. Fernan Torres just slaps it home after a great header rebound by Williams. Just not. Argentina was playing to go to penalties from minute 1, and that is just not the game plan against Spain. They will eventually score. It was inevitable for them to score. And while Argentina definitely had chances in the 120-plus minute, it was just not meant to be. The football gods have finally not shown any mercy to the Argentinians, and they have finally been smited. All I gotta say is, cope, seethe, mauled. That is exactly what it is. And certainly, Paredes definitely was mauling after the match, trying to basically bulldoze the entirety of the Spanish players after the match. I don't know what the hell Scaloni was doing after the match as well. He just was trying to fuck around, I guess. I don't know. It was a very tense after the match. Despite the fact that the referee, while he definitely should have handed out some yellows to Spain, I don't really know if it was too many, but Argentina did it to themselves. And that was the match. Spain goes on to lift the World Cup. All the match. Spain almost did the thing that England, the mistake England made where they, go into a defensive curl. Oh, no. But Argentina. It was just not Argentina today to score, and yeah, that was good. Like I said, Argentina did not deserve to get to this point, and I'm glad that at least we know that some ball is, actually actually being correctly applied here. If Argentina didn't have Messi, they would just not have gone out of the group stage. They just wouldn't have. Yeah. It also continues the trend of teams going perfect in the group stage, not winning the World Cup. So, I think the United States was on the right direction with losing to Turkey, but at the same time, it was a late winner that we gave up. So I don't know. And then also Johnny and Trump or whatever. Speaking of that end of whatever, yeah, the exact same thing that happened in Copa America, no, not Copa America, Club World Cup happened to the World Cup where he tried to get into the shot. I assume that Spain just is gonna Photoshop, Photoshop him out pretty easily, and yeah. As for the halftime show, I didn't watch it. I didn't really care to watch it. I just know that I went to watch a video and come back and it was still not done. I'm just like, what? I get to finish it. I'm just like, what are we doing? It was like a 20-minute video. How are you not finishing it by this point? Usually I miss the first couple of minutes of the second half in these World Cup games. What is this woke nonsense? Anyway. So yeah, that concludes the 2026 World Cup. Unfortunately for the rest of the world, it will be coming back to the United States or in some capacity of North America in 2038, thanks to the rigging of the 2030 World Cup, which is in Spain. So yeah, have fun, guys. As for me, I might do one of these for the Women's World Cup. I definitely would at least do group stage and then round by round because I think that's still a 32 team tournament. So, let me 27 Women's World Cup. Is that still a 32 team? Oh shit, it's in Brazil? Yeah, it's 32 teams. The US hasn't actually hasn't actually officially qualified yet. That's because the qualification for it is not until in November, I think. We have to win. We have to win one game. If you can believe it, we have to only win one game, and that'll be it. We just gotta win a game. That's it. I don't know why the World Cup structure is like that. Why are we using a 8-team tournament that we don't have to do a group stage for? But whatever, it makes my life easier, I guess. Just watch one match, and then I can watch the others if I really wanted to. But whatever. Yeah. As for the U.S. men's team, they gotta figure out if they can actually get Poch back, and if not. All I gotta say is, do not hire an American. Do not even think of hiring an American. Do you know what we do best? We hire from the outside. We hire, it's kind of like Saudi Arabia, but obviously in the more American way. And I know we're definitely comparing the two. Do not even think of hiring someone that has any current ties to the U.S. national team, the USSF. You do not need to do that, okay? It will just set yourselves up for failure come these next couple of tournaments. Nations League, Gold Cup, Copa America, if we're hosting that shit again. It will come back to bite you, okay? Don't even think about it. That's a bad mindset. Don't even think about it. It'll go very wrong. Very, very wrong. Just no, no. Cut it out. Cut it. Cut it out. But yeah. See you guys in 2030, I guess. Goodbye.